hello Galactic family, for all who believe in us. Do not worry and keep your vibrations high, everything depends on each heart energy involved. We are always together and soon we can be together and begin its long-awaited expansion. There is only love, God, the supreme and infinite intelligence, the divine wisdom, the infinite field of conscious awareness. How you define what is beyond imagination or definition is immaterial, and every conscious sentient being is part of and permanently connected to that divine field, and receives from it everything that makes life and consciousness possible. More and more of you are beginning to allow yourselves to open to an awareness of the possibility that you have an eternal connection to something far, far greater than your human form and its temporary identity. This is part of the awakening process, to know that life is not just a one-time experience of being human. It is allowing yourselves to know that incarnating as a human was a choice you made to experience the unreal separation from Source. What you are experiencing as humans seems extremely real, and, as humans, you do need to respond to the situations that arise and deal with them as you think fit. But of course you often have within you conflicting opinions as to what is fit in the moment that has arisen. Often there is uncertainty, fear suggesting one or more courses of action, with love, compassion, honesty suggesting another. Frequently uncertainty wins, and then later doubts or regrets arise as a person realizes that they have not been true to themselves, or they feel that they have won by defeating the system to gain personal advantage over another or over the system, and a sense of guilt results. Life as a human is a game that you are dreaming, and games have rules. Deep within yourselves you know the rules. In fact, of course there is only one rule: be loving whatever arises, and you know it. But there is always the temptation to break the rules for personal gain, to cheat. Often doing that becomes habitual, and then a person's awareness of their lack of honesty and integrity gets lost or forgotten, and should they get called on it, the common response is, well, everyone else is doing it. Before incarnating you planned the path for yourselves very carefully and wisely so that the lessons that you had chosen to learn would be presented to you at the most appropriate moment. But when you game the system, as many of you have been doing, you do not recognize that the lessons being presented to you are lessons you have wisely chosen to experience. You don't even realize that they are lessons, and you think that you are being treated unfairly, or that life itself is unfair. With that attitude firmly in place, it is extremely difficult for you to find your purpose in life, and you may end up convinced that it has no purpose and decide to get what you can out of it, regardless of ethics, because life is a one-time event, and it is your right and duty to take care of yourself, of number one. The downside to holding this attitude, and it is an enormous downside, is that one can never find peace, contentment, or happiness. One's life is spent basically at war, operating from fear, and forever preparing for attack and betrayal, as a person seeks safety and wealth, power, and influence over others. You all know people who live in an almost constant state of fear, blaming others for their misery, and constantly ready to engage in conflict because they believe it is essential for their survival. People who live like this have great difficulty with love. They form relationships that always seem to end in bitterness and betrayal, which confirms for them that love is illusory. To move forward from experiences of this nature to a place that allows and encourages them to live lovingly is almost impossible, unless a major disaster or catastrophe engulfs them. And many do experience such events, often more than once, as their true selves attempt to shake them up and guide them toward sanity. You have many organizations that have been founded to assist those who are addicted, and those who are serving as active members of such organizations are doing wonderful and holy work. Slowly it is becoming apparent that drugs and alcohol are by no means the only addictions, and addictions have now generally been recognized as illnesses, not crimes, that require the help of others to enable healing to occur. It is a very tough road to rise from the ashes of addiction, because addiction, once it is acknowledged by the person involved, tends to destroy any sense of self-esteem, replacing it with an intense sense of shame and guilt, and frequently with a death wish. When a person finds that within themselves, it is very hard for them to believe that they are loved, for they hate and despise themselves. To love those who hate themselves is a very daunting task, because they frequently attack very viciously those who would assist them. Nevertheless, assisting them is an absolutely essential task, and those who engage in it need enormous support so that they do not burn out or get drawn down into that terrifying abyss themselves. Truly, love is the answer, the only answer, to every problem that besets humanity. And there is only one problem pervading humanity, and that is the belief in separation. However, it appears in a multitude of disguises, which makes it very difficult to recognize and identify, unless and until people become aware that there is only one. The one loves itself deeply, unconditionally, infinitely, and every sentient being is a part or aspect of the one. At the depths of itself it knows that it is love. The task you all have as humans is to remember this divine and unchanging truth. The big question is, how are you to do this? This is in truth the only question that you need ask, and you need to ask it of yourselves, because others cannot answer it for you. Others can offer guidance or pointers, but only you can answer it. And, of course, the answer already lies within you. To find it you need to enter your inner space, that place of peace, that holy sanctuary where love resides in every moment, waiting with infinite patience for you to allow it to embrace you and show you how deeply loved you are. Going within and relaxing there, letting go of all your thoughts or concerns, helps you to find peace from the incessant mind chatter that, among other things, attempts to persuade you that you are guilty, unworthy, and even shameful. So remind yourselves that you are, as a human, playing a game, and that it is now time to bring the game to conclusion. Then rest there a while. Do this very consciously at least once a day, and remind yourselves that your true nature is love, and let go of your hold on judgment of yourselves or of others, and of any bitterness or resentment that arises. Forgive yourselves for having and holding on to those feelings, and accept that no punishment or restitution is due, because there is only love, which is utterly accepting, unconditional, and without judgment of any kind. It is your right to feel and savor the love in which you are held, the love that is your true nature, and in which you have your eternal existence. And when you feel it, you will feel only unconditional love and compassion for all sentient life, as all judgment and blame dissolves, leaving you totally free and at peace. With so very much love, Soul.